Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Bronte Bat Yisrael. Welcome to A Voice Crying in the Wilderness. I pray that you had a blessed day and having a blessed week thus far. I want to talk on the topic of the mark of the beast and also the mark of Yahuwah. I want to make it simple. I want to make it plain. I'm not going to talk on every aspect surrounding the mark of the beast. Keep in mind that Revelation chapter 12 verse 9 says Satan deceived the whole world. Not just some of the world or part of the world, but Satan deceived the whole world. And we're going to take a look at how he did that. Revelation chapter 16 verse 13. And I saw three unclean spirits, three foul spirits, three demonic spirits, three polluting spirits, like frogs, come out of the mouth of the dragon, that old serpent, Satan, the devil, Hashatan, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet came the unclean spirits like frogs. Revelation 13, and I would read the entire chapter of Revelation 13. I'm going to start at verse 15. And he had power, the beast had power to give life unto the image of the beast. So the beast has created an image. Keep in mind that Christianity was enforced with a gun in one hand and a Bible in the other hand. And whoever would not conform to Christianity was shot, was killed, was murdered, was slaughtered. And sometimes those that did receive it was still slaughtered because their land was wanted or for whatever reason. And keep in mind that when the Greeks came into power, they took over lands. They renamed the lands. They renamed the people in the lands. And any important parts of the people's history, they removed the names of those people and they put their own names into the history. And if you read the book of Maccabees, chapter 1, I'm not exactly sure what verse, it talks about how the heathen came up into the Holy Land, up into Jerusalem, and opened the book of the law. And when they opened the book of the law, they painted over the images of the people that were in the book. And they painted over the images to reflect and look like their images. Also, keep in mind that growing up, we all had the image of the Messiah. Mostly every household had the image or the portrait of the Messiah on the wall. And some of our places of fellowship or worship had the image of the Messiah on the wall. We're not supposed to have any graven image of the Messiah or the Father, period. And it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. And the reason why I'm calling that the image of the beast is that image of the Messiah. And if you research the history, the original image was Caesar Borgia, which was a homosexual who died, and in honor of him, they created an image of him and used it as the Messiah. And the reason why I'm calling that the image of the beast is because if you go to Revelation chapter 1, verses 14 through 15, it describes the image of the Most High. And we know that the image of the Most High and the image of the Son are the same, one and the same. Verse 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So the Most High has hair like wool, and his feet are like fine brass. So if his feet is like fine brass, the rest of his body is like fine brass as well. So when the heathen came into the land and opened the book of the law, the images that they saw in the book reflected people with hair like wool and people that had skin color as fine brass. But the image that we were given, that was enforced, that was created, that we had on the walls of our homes, was the exact opposite. Revelation 13, okay, back in verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should speak. The image of the beast has a voice through the beast itself. The beast was able to change times and laws and ordinances. And if you've been following the news or social media concerning the Pope or the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, they have been talking about instituting a day of rest, that being Sunday, wherein they're talking about shutting down all the businesses, implementing Sunday as the day of rest. We know that the Most High created creation in 6 days, and on the seventh day, he rested. But the beast wants to make the day of rest the first day. The beast instituted the Gregorian calendar and gave us his appointed days and his appointed times that we should worship. And that word worship means to obey. He gave us his own set appointed times and dates and laws for us to obey and reverence, instead of the appointed times that the Father gave us to be kept from generation to generation, an everlasting covenant. So the beast has an image. The beast has a voice. And the beast also has a name. As I stated, when the heathen nations came into power, or came into the Holy Land, or persecuted the children of Israel, they changed times, laws, ordinances, everything, names. Even in the book of the law, when they opened the book of the law, they didn't just paint over the images of the people that were in the book. They changed the names of the people that were in the book. In the Middle East, you would not have found anyone named Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. The beast instituted his Hellenized names into the culture of that day, and caused many as would not worship or obey the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell except he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Revelation 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, if any man obey the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Elohim, which is poured out with mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receive the mark of his name. So there's a name that we must overcome. The mark of the beast upon the forehead is the doctrine that's being spewed out by the unclean spirits that are coming through the false prophets. Unclean spirits that are preaching and teaching idolatry, which is causing pollution, spiritual pollution and contamination. The false prophets are carrying out the doctrine that was enforced by bloodshed from the beast, who got their marching orders from Satan, the dragon. So if you receive the doctrine of the beast, if you embrace the image of the beast or the name of the beast, the wrath of Elohim awaits you. Revelation 9. I'm not going to be long. As I stated, I want to make this simplified. Revelation chapter 9. Oh, no. Revelation, before I go to Revelation 9, I'm going to do Revelation 7 and 2. Revelation chapter 7, verse 2 and 3. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living Elohim, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Elohim in their foreheads. So the servants of the Most High are going to be sealed or have been sealed in their foreheads as well are going to be sealed. Revelation 9, chapter 4. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of Yahuwah in their foreheads. Hurt those men. The angels were given charge to hurt the men that did not have the seal of Yahuwah in their forehead. The doctrine of Yahuwah, who were not obeying and doing the works of Yahuwah with their right hand. Their right hand had not been sealed because they were following the order, the voice of the beast. John chapter 3. John chapter 3, verse 33 and 34. For he whom Yah have sent speaketh the words of Yah. As Yahshua said, I didn't come with my own doctrine, but I came with the doctrine of him that sent me. So those that have been sent by Yah speak his words, his doctrine. For Yah giveth not the Spirit by measure unto him, but it is unlimited. For he, verse 33, he have received his testimony. He that have received the testimony of Yahshua have set to his seal that Elohim is true. Okay. I forgot to read Revelation chapter 12. Revelation 12. And 17. And the dragon, Hashatan, Satan, was wroth with the woman, the bride, children of Israel, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, the ones who keep the commandments of Yah and have the testimony of Yahshua. So the seal is to keep the commandments of Yah. That's what it means to be sealed, to keep the commandments of Yah. The dragon was wroth. And that's the time that we're in now. There's a great divide. The sheep are being separated from the goat. The dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yah. The dragon is mad because his commandments are not being kept. The dragon is mad because his commandments, his laws are not being obeyed by the remnant that keep the commandments. So he went to make war with them. Exodus chapter 13. and verse 9. And this is talking about the year of Abib, the new year, and the Passover, and coming into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Verse 9, and it shall be for a sign unto thee upon thine hand, right hand. Even though it's not saying right, but it's saying hand. So the Passover, Abib, the Passover, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread shall be a sign unto thee upon thine hand, and for a memorial between thine eyes, forehead. His doctrine, his laws between the eyes, the forehead. Shall be a memorial between thine eyes, that Yah's law may be in thy mouth. For with a strong hand hath Yah brought thee out of Egypt. Thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in his season from year to year. The everlasting covenant. One aspect of the everlasting covenant. Exodus 31, verses 13 Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations. The children of Israel did not die off. Their offspring and their remnant is still in the land, alive today. That ye may know that I am Yah, that does sanctify you. Ye shall keep my Shabbats, therefore, for it is holy unto you. Every one that defileth it shall surely be put to death. So the doctrine of the beast that implemented Sunday law, and the false prophet that's advising that the Sabbath or the Shabbat of Yah, it doesn't matter. Right here is saying that his Sabbath shall be holy unto you, and every one that defileth it shall be put to death. Defile means to violate it, not keep it. So it's a doctrine of defilement to say that the Sabbath doesn't matter. It's a demonic doctrine that's coming out of the mouth of the false teachers. It's a doctrine that's causing you to be polluted spiritually, to be contaminated, to teach you that it's okay to participate in and to keep pagan festivals is causing you to be polluted and unclean, unholy before Yah. It's telling him or showing him that you have chosen to obey and reverence man above him, another deity before him. Deuteronomy 6, verses 4 through 9. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Elohim is one. Thou shalt love Yah thy Elohim with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. These words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. Not customs of men, not traditions of men. But he says, you are to teach them diligently all the words that he commanded you through his commandments. Exodus 20, verses 2 through 17. All these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine right hand. Do the works of the covenant. And they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. Not post idols. All in the house and upon the gates. But upon the gates of thine house, this house, post it, keep it in mind, remember all that Yah has commanded us, of us. Deuteronomy, okay, I'm going to skip down to verses 13 and 17. Thou shalt fear Yah thy Elohim, not your pastor, not your bishop, not the first lady, not the pope. Thou shalt fear Yah thy Elohim and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Ye shall not go after other deities, of the deities of the people which are round about you. So the nations around you, the nations that the children of Israel were scattered to, he says, you shall not go after other deities of the deities of the people which are around you. Don't partake of their pagan festivals and customs, for the customs of the people are vain. Jeremiah 10, the customs of the people are vain. For Yah thy Elohim is a jealous Elohim among you, lest the anger of Yah thy Elohim be kindled against thee for participating in idolatry, and he destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Ye shall not tempt Yah your Elohim. Jeremiah 7 and 24. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear. but walked in the counsels and in the imagination of their evil heart. It's not paganism. It's our family tradition. Jesus is the reason for the season. They walked in the counsel and imagination of their evil heart and went backward and not forward. Ezekiel 20 and 39, and I'm almost done. But as for you, O house of Israel, thus says Yah, go ye, serve ye every one his idols, and hereafter also, if ye will not hearken unto me, but pollute ye my holy name no more with your gifts and with your idols. Don't pollute his holy name with your gifts and with your idols, your deities, your other gods. Don't mix and mingle. He says, I am Yah and Yah alone, and besides me, there is no other. Okay. Second, I'm going to go to Ezekiel 22. Before I go there, I'm going to go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 10 through 12. And with all deceivableness, delusion, deceit of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. But instead they chose to embrace a lie. And the next chapter says, and for this cause Yah shall send them a strong delusion, even though the truth is right in front of their face. He says, I will send them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie, and that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. He says, I'm sending a strong delusion. Because, and people are going to perish because they received not the love of the truth, but instead they received and embraced the satanic doctrine of the beast and the false prophet. Ezekiel, I think I read that. Okay, yes. Ezekiel 22, and I always read this, and 26. Her priests have violated my law. The priests of the beast have violated the law of Elohim, and they have profaned, they have polluted, defiled the holy things of Yah. They have put no difference between holy and that which is profane. Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean. And they have hid their eyes from my Shabbats, my Sabbaths, have turned a blind eye, have not acknowledged his Sabbaths. And I am profaned among them. And because of this, the furnace of judgment for all the abominations and the gross idol worship is at hand. Come out of her, my people. Return to the ancient path where the good way is. Whose mark is in your forehead? Whose mark is in your right hand? What doctrine are you adhering to? Is it the doctrine that's coming from the image of the beast, or is it the doctrine of Yah? I'm going to go to Revelation 12 and 17 right quick. No, Revelation 15 and 2. Revelation 15 and 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, over his image, his mark, his name, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Elohim. So the victory was gotten over the beast and his image, because with that image came the false doctrine, false worship, and over his mark, and over the number of his name. Jesus, Lord God. Are Hellenized names. They are not a translation or transliteration of the Messiah's true name, or of Elohim's true name. They are a substitution, a change. Revelation 19 and 20, and I'm almost done. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, which he deceived them through the miracles, through the working of the beast. They were deceived because the beast and the false prophet had power to perform miracles in their sight. People were deceived, believing that it was the power of Elohim. But the beast gave them power to do the miracles so that he could deceive the masses. He gave them power to heal the sick, to cast out demons, and many other things, so that by these so-called miracles or works, the masses would be deceived into believing that it was the power of Yah on display. It's not the power of Yah on display when we are disobedient, walking in rebellion. It's a false power. It's a familiar spirit. Excuse me. I think I read, let me see. Revelation 12 and 17, I believe I read this, not sure. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. So the dragon and the beast, false prophet, are making war with the remnant of the seed which keep the commandments and have the testimony of Yahshua. So there's a great divide. The goats on the left and the sheep on the right. There's a great divide. The dragon, not only the dragon, but the beast, the Roman Catholic Church, and the false prophet are making war with the remnant of the seed who's enforcing the word of Yah, who's advising the people or instructing the people to keep the appointed days of Yah. The beast, the false prophet, the dragon is wroth with a cruel hatred, a cruel anger. Satan deceived the whole world. I want to look at one more thing. And I'm closing out. I want to read Jeremiah 9 right quick, verse 14. But have walked after the imagination of their own heart and after Baal, meaning that was a Phoenician deity, which their fathers taught them. And I want to read Hosea 2 and 13. And I will visit upon her the days of Baal, wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with earrings and jewels, and she went after her lovers and forgat me, says Yah. The lovers that were that Israel went after were other deities, and the other deities caused them to forget Yah as their first love, as their ish, their husband. Hosea 2 and 17 is the verse that I was looking for. For I will take away the names of Baal out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. So the names of Baal, Jesus, Lord, God, are going to be taken out of the mouths during the new covenant, when the Messiah returns to the earth and establishes and sets up his kingdom. We are at that point in time in the new covenant, and he's going to take the names of Baal out of the mouth of those that remain, those that are have escaped the things that are coming upon the earth. And they shall no more be remembered by their name. He that have an ear, hear what the Ruach is saying to the ecclesia. Whose mark are you carrying? Whose mark is upon your forehead and in your right hand? Shalom.